What is going on, guys? Today I will be going over every game of the Week 12 NFL games, whatever that makes sense, and I will be giving you my predictions on each game. Before we get into this video, though, help me get to 1,000 subs before the end of this calendar year so I can give away another jersey around the holidays. That'd be awesome for me to be able to do that for you guys right then and there. So help me get to 1,000 and I'll take care of that real quick. Either way, let's get right into this video. So here we are with our Week 12 NFL predictions. Let's get right into this. First game we have, these will be starting on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, 12:30 Eastern Time. Lions, Packers. I'm going to be honest, this game, Lions always get a Thanksgiving game, obviously. They've had a really good offense this year. Their defense mediocre. Vice versa for the Packers. The Packers' defense has been pretty decent, but offense has not been very good behind Jordan Love's pretty much rookie year. I'm going to go with the Lions. They moved to 9-2 in the conference. That's very impressive, honestly. Moving on. The 4:30 Thanksgiving Day game. Cowboys, Washington, another team who always does get a Thanksgiving game in the Cowboys. I mean, the Cowboys they've been very good against bad teams, but this is a divisional game. Anyone can win a divisional game because people always react better. They know each other a little more. It means more. These games are either side. The defense for the Commanders has been very bad. The offense has been pretty good behind Sam Howell's crazy performances. Sam Howell's been that dude for them. But I'm going to have to go with the Cowboys. They're going to move to 8-3, and it's week 8-3 at that. Moving on, Seahawks, Niners, Thanksgiving night. I mean, this is a divisional game that will be a great one probably. This one will either be a blowout by the Niners or a great game. Just back and forth, super good, meaningful football. This is a big, meaningful game for both of these teams because the Niners can't afford to fall behind Seattle, lose the head-to-head matchup, and the Seattle Seahawks can take over here. Like, this is big for them. I would love to say the Seahawks would win, and I'm going to. I think they have enough this week. The 49ers have been a little bit iffy. Talanoa Hufanga is now another injury loss they faced. I just have a feeling the Seahawks might win this one. Who knows? We'll see if my prediction is right in the long run. Moving on, going to the it says Thursday Night Football. It's really the prime Black Friday game. So it is on Friday afternoon, 3 o'clock Eastern Time. Jets, Dolphins, divisional game once again. Big time week for divisional matchups. I mean, the offense for the Jets has not been good. They're moving on to Tim Boyle to be their starting quarterback. The defense has been pretty dang good, though. They have a good unit for that defense. The Dolphins, on the other hand, they're just now getting healthy. A-Chain's back. Yeah, he went out with a little knee injury last week. They said that was more of a precautionary deal. Could be either way, though. Then they also, they got Jalen Ramsey back, who made plays last week. A couple of them, actually. This is going to be a really good game. And this is a game the Jets do really need to win for Aaron Rodgers to maybe come back at all. Because if they lose this one, fall to 4-7, I don't know if he'd be willing to come back. I am going to have the Dolphins winning this one, moving to 8-3. They're just a better team. They just are. There's not a whole lot there for the Jets to capitalize on, especially with Tim Boyle as a starter. Now we move into these Sunday games. Once again, divisional matchup. I don't even know. I made these slides, didn't realize. Are all these games divisional matchups? We'll see. Either way, two mediocre teams, but one of these teams is probably going to win this division. It's going to be one of these two. The Bucs have a shot, I will say. The Bucs have a shot, but you're going at 66% chance it's one of these two. I don't know. Derek Carr's supposedly out, or I don't know. He's got some kind of injury. I haven't really seen what it is. But the Falcons have really not looked good all season. Clearly, you can tell they've been a worse average of a team based on their offensive and defensive rankings. Though those don't tell the whole story, don't get me wrong. But I am going to have to go with the Saints in this one. It just feels like a game they're going to win. Moving on, Steelers, Bengals. A huge game for the AFC North. The AFC North is extremely tight, and this game would only make it tighter, moving both teams to 6-5, letting the Ravens and the Browns, potentially get a little step up on the rest of the division. The Bengals have Jake Browning playing now, obviously with Joe Burrow having that injury in his wrist or hand or whatever it was. The Steelers lost Matt Canada, and that might be an addition by subtraction. So the defense has been great. Last week, the Steelers defense looked beyond elite. there was 2 or 3 drives straight where it never looked like Jerome Ford touched the line of scrimmage. They just ate him up behind the line on 2 to 3 of the plays in that, fourth down. In those 4 downs, excuse me. But this is going to be a tough one no matter the way, just because it's the Bengals, it's the Steelers. They're going to play each other hard. I do think the Steelers are able to capitalize on the loss of Matt Canada and the addition of facing a guy like Jake Browning, who hasn't really played in the NFL to this point. Moving on, Titans-Panthers, a non-divisional game here. There we go. 3-7 versus 1-9. This is going to be maybe the toilet bowl of the week. I'm just going to go ahead and say I have the Titans winning this one. Yeah, okay. The Colts and the Bucks, this is another non-divisional game, but the same 2 divisions that the last game was just in. Colts and Titans, and yeah, you get the point. Either way, the Colts, I think Shane Steichen was a really good hire for them because they are still 10th in offense in the league, and they have had Gardner Minshew playing quarterback for the most of their season. And, the one thing you say about coaches is you need to have your coach win his side of the ball. If you're an offensive coach and your defense is better than your offense, you better have a really good defense or you're going to be fired. But if you're an offensive coach and your offense is better than your defense, even if you're a bad team, you're at least making progress because you're controlling what you control. And that's true for the Colts. Can be considered partially true, I think. Is Todd Bowles a defensive coach? I think he is. I could be wrong. I don't know. He's a terrible coach, whether one way or another. But I just don't really see this being a super interesting game. I'm going to have the Bucs winning this one. The Colts, I just think Baker Mayfield's going to outmatch Gardner Minshew. It's really as simple as that. Moving on, a 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock game, whatever it is in your time zone. Another toilet bowl matchup of the week. Terrible Giants versus terrible Patriots. And, the Patriots defense has been a little better than what they probably should have been even, but still not great. The Giants are starting Tommy DeVito. No relation or correlation to Danny DeVito, I don't think. I wish it was. That'd be awesome. But, Saquon is the entire offense for the Giants, and if he's out or if he's not being able to, run his things that he needs to, I don't think they have a chance of winning. And I think the Patriots defense is going to be good enough to shut down Saquon Barkley, meaning the Patriots get their 3rd win of the season, moving on to a big 3-8. After them, Texans versus Jaguars. This is a big game because if the Jaguars lose this game, the Texans get a legitimate shot to win this division. But if they win this game, it falls drastically farther down to where the Texans may not win this division. Ironically, they're both the 11th and 13th offense defense you can see here on the screen. This is going to be a good game, but I just think the better quarterback is going to win. Trevor Lawrence is the better player. C.J. Stroud has the better performing stats this year, for sure. But Trevor Lawrence, the more veteran savvy, just the better player overall. I'll take him in this game. Moving on, Broncos-Browns. This could be a sneaky one. Browns starting DTR did beat the Steelers last week, but they had a chance to win the game. The Steelers did, and they blew it effectively. Matt Canada was fired probably for that reason. But then this is getting Russell Wilson, who has been really solid this season, playing for the Broncos, started to cook a little bit again. And I do think this game will come down to a last few minutes of the game, and Russell Wilson will be able to power this team through, unlike Kenny Pickett did under Matt Canada's offense last week. So that will help a ton. Moving the Browns to 7-4, that ties them back up with the Steelers again, and the Broncos to 6-5, getting them, towards the Raiders and the Chargers, kind of making all that really close as well. Moving on, Cardinals and Rams. This is not the best game either. I believe Stafford should be playing again. I actually don't even know if I saw anything about the Rams last week, so I couldn't tell you if he really is playing or not. But, the Cardinals roster is just so depleted. It's a terrible roster. It's one of the worst rosters in NFL history, and it's just an ugly sight to see. It really is. So, you really can't play with much there. I'm going with the Rams to win this one. Cardinals sit at 2-10, trying to get themselves the 2nd or so overall pick in this draft. Moving on, Raiders-Chiefs, another interdivisional game. Raiders have been, winning some games lately. They did lose last week. I can't remember who it was to, but first loss of Antonio Pierce's head coaching career. He's 2-1. And the Chiefs, they've been mediocre on offense. They cannot stop turning over the ball. And you know what? That's one thing that I think, that, like I said, divisional games can always go either way. The Chiefs turn over the ball. The Raiders' defense is better than their offense. The Raiders have had splash plays from players like Robert Spillane and, Max Crosby. I'm going to take a huge upset this week and go with the Raiders winning. This one, it just feels like it could happen. The Chiefs losing last week to the Eagles makes me kind of not want to do this because just a good team doesn't typically lose 2 games in a row. However, this is a divisional game. The Raiders have kind of gotten some juice to them. Beating the Chiefs would be a lot for them, and I think that is something that they could definitely do. I'm going to go ahead and have it predicted so I can say I was right if I'm right, and if I'm wrong, well, we all know I'm wrong. The Eagles and the Bills, big game for the Bills. They're 6-5, and their season's kind of falling apart, yet they're still the 4th offense and the 6th defense. And people think that Josh Allen is so bad for some random reason. Oh, he turns the ball over way too much. He just throws too many picks and whatever. He's way lower than a guy like Mahomes in a turnover-worthy play percentage. He actually completes a lot of passes that are just dropped by Gabe Davis or some other receiver and picked off. He's not nearly as bad as people think. I still think he actually has a very decent shot to win the MVP since no one else is setting themselves apart this year. Yeah, I think it's very possible. Either way, Eagles, Bills, this is going to be a good one. Eagles were in against the Chiefs last week, against the Bills this week. Potentially all Super Bowl matchups. This game right here was actually my Super Bowl prediction prior to this season, Eagles-Bills. And we're going to see it in the regular season. I still think we're going to see it in the postseason, in the Super Bowl. I'm going to take the Bills winning this game. Eagles fall to just a 9-2. Not too bad. But the Bills get a big win to put their season back on track. Moving on, Sunday Night Football. Chargers, Ravens. Ravens have been really solid this year. Lamar Jackson has been able to do a whole lot for their team. Chargers, not so great. Defense has been very bad. Offense has been good. Justin Herbert gets no help. Got a game blown, just absolutely blown by Quentin Johnson last week, the rookie wide receiver. Just dropped a ball straight in his hands. But I think they win this one this week. I just think they have a shot of pulling it together and winning this game. I just do. I don't know why. I just have a feeling this is a Chargers game to win, and they know they need it now, and Justin Herbert's going to power through and win it. Monday Night Football, a divisional game. Vikings and Bears. Huge game here for the Vikings. If they win this one, they are firmly in the playoff grips. If they lose this one, that's pretty scary for them. Their offense has been competent with Josh Jacobs, which is a huge shock. Who would have thought? I believe they were 3-4 or 4-4 when what's his name went out, Kirk Cousins. Maybe 4-3. I don't know, something around there. And they've made it to 5-4. That's probably a lot better than you'd expect so far. So, can they get Justin Jefferson back this week? Very possible. Can they win this game? Probably so. I have them doing just that, winning this game against the crappy Chicago Bears team. The Bears are going to look to make Justin Fields look as good as possible. He's definitely going to, throw a few more screens, run a few more QB draws to just pipe his stats up. That way they can use him to trade this offseason since they're going to go get a better quarterback than he is since he's just absolutely terrible. Either way, that is it for this video. Those are my predictions for Week 12. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Which games do you think might be an upset this week? Also, subscribe, hit that like button, all those things help me out a ton. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs. Let your grandma know about Shredder. She'll enjoy the videos too. Peace.